What up, folks? It's your boy Chicago, the handsome liberal, once back at you with another video. As you can see, this one is titled Brian Laundrie. We all know what happened to him. And I'm going to say what I think you guys are already thinking, and we're going to go from there. But before I do that, hit that subscribe button, smash it as hard as you can. Feel free to hit the like button if you like what I'm saying. And if you don't, hit the dislike. I'm not fucking scared of you. Anyway, Brian Laundrie, where's he at? Where do you think he's at? Well, we all know he lawyered up immediately and he went mum based on his attorney's advice and probably the advice of his parents and closest loved ones. So where do we think he's at? Well, if they advised him to keep quiet and to keep mum, it would only make sense for them to also advise him to get the hell out of there. The entire state of Florida is pretty much calling for blood on this man. So if this was your child and you had people staked outside the house protesting, saying all kinds of vile things, would you tell them to stay in the house? Would you tell them to come forward and have a press conference in front of a bunch of people that ain't gonna give a shit what he got to say anyway? They've already got their mind made up. He's been tried and convicted in a court of public opinion. So speaking to anyone, it's not in his best interest. And there are no rewards from police for confessing, if that is what happened. I've made prior videos where I talked about Gabby being a violent woman based on the footage that came from the Utah police. Should have been charged with domestic violence, but a host of factors from sexism to privilege and all of those other things probably got in the way of that, as you've seen the cop coaching her on what to say. I mean, literally asking her, when you smacked him, did you intend to hurt him? Who the fuck asked a question? Have you ever seen a guy being accused of domestic violence with a woman that had bruises on her being asked, well, when you hit her, did you actually intend to hurt her or not? Or, I'm going to ask you a series of questions and think carefully before you answer them, because this can make a difference. Cops don't talk like that to dudes. So I've said it in every video that the Utah police fucked up because they should have arrested her. And by them not doing that, all of this other stuff had the possibility to take place. She would have been sitting in jail somewhere, and a lot of these other events would not have happened. They would have broke the chain. I'm not blaming them for her death, but I'm saying that they absolutely could have prevented it by simply doing their job. But yeah, where is Brian Laundrie? He's on the run, and he's probably being aided and abetted by family members. At this point in time, he has not been indicted. Charges have not been filed. So if they are sending him money and putting him up somewhere, it's not a crime. Now, they have filed a missing persons report with police. So the individuals who filed the missing persons report, they cannot be the ones that are aiding and abetting. Otherwise, it would be filing a false police report, because you know where the fuck he's at. So whoever filed the report is not in on it. But my guess is he is being aided and abetted somewhere. Now, there's that idea where maybe he just had a guilty conscience and went somewhere and offed himself. I don't think that's the case, but I'm not going to say that's not an impossibility if he is riddled with guilt subconsciously. That could happen. I don't think the Petito family is going to get closure on this, folks. I really don't. I think they kind of already know where they want to take it, and that is they believe that Laundrie is responsible for their child's death, and their child did not deserve to die. I'm in the air on it because, like I said, I do believe she was a violent woman, and the police let her off, and who knows if there was prior violence and if there's violence that took place after it. I just know when the police came to the scene, it was clear based on their own investigation that she was a violent woman. But other than that, yeah, folks, I'm just going to say that I believe that this guy is on the run. I believe this guy is being aided and abetted, potentially financed by parents or, close friends and associates or something of that nature. He's been missing for several days. They didn't file a missing persons report for long enough for him to have gotten pretty damn far away from Florida. I believe they said he was missing for several days before they started notifying people. He could be anywhere. Hell, he could be out of the damn country for all we know. Most likely not, but he could be out of the country. And like I said, I truly believe that the family or someone very close to him is, looking out for him. Maybe he's got a family that got a home up in northern Michigan somewhere that they're letting him camp out and lay low. It could be anything like that. But if you cared about this guy, it would be in your best interest and his best interest, obviously, to tell him to get out of Florida, come up here and lay low with me, or come down here or come over here and lay low with me, and get you away from there. Because otherwise, people are ready to, they were having mob mentality out there. They were ready to storm the crib and what did they used to do when they drag you out and hang you? They were pretty much ready to do that. There's no sympathy for that guy in Florida. So leave the state, keep your mouth shut, and let them figure things out. And that's probably what will ultimately happen. With Gabby being missing, like I said, I don't think there will never be closure. He did what a lot of people failed to do. He lawyered up immediately. He went silent immediately. If more people did that, it would be a lot more challenging for law enforcement to close a bunch of their cases, because they do get a lot of things closed on snitching and confessions. In other words, it's not based on raw police walking a beat doing detective work. It's based on people just telling what the fuck happened. And they don't have that in this case. And he has quite a bit of the United States for them to search for this. This didn't happen on the block, or it didn't happen in town. This happened, potentially thousands of miles away, with a huge square footage area where it could have happened in. Did it happen in Utah? Did it happen in Wyoming? I mean, there's no fucking way to know. Other than maybe tracing cell phone towers, which still, when you consider how far they traveled, who knows? They're looking at text messages saying that he may have sent some text messages pretending to be her when it was actually him, and she may have already met her demise, but you can't prove that. So there's a lot of detective work that's going to be needed to even come close to giving the Petito family closure. And as long as he keeps his mouth shut, I don't think that's going to happen unless Gabby turns up somewhere, or some jogger or some pet or something finds her quick enough where they can do a decent medical examination of her. And I'm speaking past tense, because I definitely think Gabby is no longer with us, just like most of you viewers do. So what do you think? You think I'm in line when I say that Brian is probably being funded and hid out somewhere outside of Florida? You think I'm off my rocker when I say this? Or do you think he's guilt-ridden, full of, his conscience is messed up and he offed himself or jumped in a river and killed himself? You think it may be that? Or what do you think? You think maybe Gabby's still alive and like some twisted movie found him and offed him instead? Which I'm just joking. I don't think that's the case, but what do you think? So anyway, I would love to hear from you guys, and let me know in the comments. Your boy Chicago, the handsome liberal, out of here.